to all of us who are up in this early AM. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I don't even know why I'm still awake. I think it's because I had started feeling a little bit sick early on in the day, and I kind of just laid around and was just like really slumbering and, resting and playing my video game. So I'm like, dang, maybe that's the reason why I'm still up. Plus, I had got a little hyped up on my last video, if you did not see that, because, this little issue or whatever. It's nothing important, trust me. It's all tomfoolery. But I wanted to entertain my audience. So I was like, I'm gonna go hard first, and then I'm gonna just, really talk about it. But it ended up being funny to me because the whole thing is funny to me. Really, it is. So at first, I was like trying to keep it cool, and then I just started not caring. And once I lose respect for somebody and start not caring, let the roasting begin. You know what I'm saying? That type of energy. So right now, it's just me and Pauls. We are up. Just in case y'all don't know, this is my current situation, y'all. Okay? And don't make fun of my little bitty bed because y'all know that my other bed is in storage. Y'all know my real beds are in storage. So there's Pauls sleep halfway on his back and halfway to the side. And then as I turn my camera, y'all can see where she's at. So she is still currently laying up against my buns right now as we speak, y'all. Okay, that is what my current situation is. So we are up. She's right here. Pause and start playing. I said I'm just gonna go live and talk to my homegirls and homeboys, the good old Teahive today. Oh Lord, pause. I'm gonna talk to the good old Teahive today. In the early AM. And y'all, we have two different court cases where I'm going to be doing just a small little bit of commentary about because first of all, Cardi B, girl, and then Lil Nas X, a boy. Like, what is going on? They both ended up in court yesterday, and so I just want to discuss that with y'all. So we're going to start with Cardi
When you
B
were at the building,
really quickly. And again, and listen, guys, you are welcome. And I'm gonna zoom in, kind of, and toggle the footage back and forth, because what I don't want is for, so I'm gonna toggle like this, try to keep that logo out of the camera when the video is playing, okay? But I'm gonna be toggling like this, because what we don't want to do is have a copyright strike, okay? So in order to make it mine, I'm gonna go ahead and toggle it a little bit and just let it be what it is. She might be talking and I might toggle down here to Cardi's reactions, or I might show whatever like that, okay? All right, but first of all, before I even get into, the recap of everything, of it all, Cardi B looks horrible. I did not know that she looks like this without those filters, without those Instagram filters on and stuff like that. And she's dressed in these big old clothes because she's still trying to hide this pregnancy, even though she rolled out her new music obviously pregnant. So she's wearing these big old clothes. Her nose has been done, her lips have been done. She did something to her cheeks and even her chin. She looks horrible. She's gotten one of those eye things that Jada Waiter got. My homeboy Juan got one of them too, where they kind of pinch your eyes up and make your eyes look more cinched and a little bit more, like I'll say Chinese, but I don't want to offend the Chinese people, but to where make your eyes just look a little bit more pinched on the side. She's gotten one of those procedures and she looks effing horrible. I never thought I would say that. She looks totally different than she started out, and she's starting to look like one of those botched people who do too much to their body and their face that they just look botched. Her booty look tight, her thighs are little, her booty is oversized. Without that pregnancy, her skin looks like it's tight. I mean, it's probably thin from all the pulling and tugging on it. It was giving Ting too much. I was getting scary witch. I was looking at her like, what the fuck did you do to yourself? I mean, I couldn't believe this when I saw it. But Cardi looked a hot ass mess. Meanwhile, you got this normal girl, and I don't know why, but I feel like I know her from California. I feel like I know her. I feel like this is my homegirl's older sister, but the names don't match. But she looked just like a girl that I know, okay? Um, but yes, honey, this situation happened because of a security guard. Now this girl's name is Imani Ellis, honey. Imani looked like my good old homegirl, okay? My homegirl's big sister, but that ain't her, y'all, okay? Because her name wasn't Imani now. But I'm just saying, she looked normal. She looked like my point is that she looked like one of the homegirls from around the corner, from around the way. Whereas Cardi B is starting to look like a Hollywood monster, like she part of the Illuminati that killed Whitney Houston. Yes, Lord, she do. Look a mess, okay? So I'm not going to be talking loud in this video. If you guys hear my cat throwing around his litter, it's because he is in his litter box. This is his time where he kind of go back and forth for a minute. He just woke up, as you guys know. I just showed y'all my situation. And so, yeah, he using the bathroom if you guys heard that. Okay. All right, let's get into it. So first and foremost, Belcalis Almanzar is accused of assault and battery, intentionally inflicting emotional distress on this woman, negligence and false imprisonment from a situation that happened in 2018 off on Wilshire. Mind y'all, I used to work down there in my 20s, y'all, okay? All right. On February 24th, 2018, Cardi B was going to her obstetrician gynecologist in Beverly Hills. She was 4 months pregnant, trying to hide her pregnancy from the public and the tabloids. In 2020, this lady, the security guard there, filed this lawsuit because she was working at the doctor's office at the time. She said that Cardi B attacked her unprovoked during that visit. And not only Cardi B, but also Cardi B's security guard. He is listed as Doe 1 in this lawsuit as well. She says that Cardi B violently, unlawfully, intentionally, suddenly, and maliciously hit her in her head, body, and face, left her with physical scars and emotional damage. She said Cardi B actually spit on her and called her all kind of profanities and racial slurs because and because she tried to videotape Cardi B, and Cardi was very upset about it. Okay, the one thing that celebrities pay extra to their doctors for, like something that might cost me and you $200, might cost Cardi B $20,000, and the reason why is because they're paying for privacy. That's why they're paying for a guarantee that none of their medical business and or pictures or visits will make it to the media. Okay. All right. So now my cat is slinging around one of his toys. So if y'all hear that, my apologies. Also, Nani just started snoring a little bit. So okay. She says that on top of the racial slurs, Cardi B's security guard also began to attack her as well. She says Cardi B has been working with people behind the scenes to have all the footage of the incident erased. So when she says that, she means like people that work in the building and the building footage that was taken at the time. So, in a responding lawsuit, Cardi B says that this security guard, Ellis, was on her personal cell phone and loudly announced that she had just seen Cardi B and appeared to be trying to take a video of Cardi. Cardi asked her, please don't say anything to anyone, but rather than to de escalate the situation, Cardi B says this woman approached her and engaged in a screaming match that was laced with profanity. Cardi B says that there was no the lawyers for her says that there was actually no physical contact between the two at the time, and it was just an argument that lasted for a minute and a half, whereas this woman is saying that she was assaulted, basically jumped. Okay, these are two very different stories. That is wild how these stories could be so effing different. Okay. Now, this lady Ellis, she did go to the hospital. So now she wants to seek medical expenses. Now, that's going to be a huge part of this lawsuit, is pulling out that paperwork. Okay, you went to the hospital. What damages were done? What scars, lacerations, bruises did you have? That's going to be a very huge part of this lawsuit, right? She wants medical expenses, damage for her loss of earnings for time she had to take off work and or lost her position, punitive damages, and $25,000 in a civil penalty. Um, and so Cardi is now gearing up to testify in this filing. Now, you would think that Cardi would just give the woman the $50,000 or something and leave this issue alone, let it go, so that she's not being drugged into court. This is a woman who essentially has 3.5 children. She just had a baby. She right back pregnant by a boy, man she barely know. She's still married, so she's essentially she's pregnant by her mistress, Stefan Diggs. You know what I'm saying? And it's just such a weird situation for her to even want to be in this court filing. Now, you just won $4 million in a settlement from YouTuber Tasha K. You are garnishing her wages. Why can't you just give this woman the 50,000 and go on about your business? Hell, take it from Offset. Ain't that child support at this point? Like, you would think she would not want to engage in this, and I would have settled out of court and got this out of my way. But Cardi B is a fighter, and she's fighting this. Now, Cardi B was accused of throwing a microphone at a fan during a performance in Las Vegas. They tried to file charges for that. Then the charges were dropped, and then they didn't file it, whatever. But listen, the point of them even in them even mentioning that is that she has a history of being violent. And so that if the judge allows it, okay, she can definitely show that footage in this court date. Now, this woman Ellis says that she was body shamed, cursed out, spit on, and that Cardi B cut her. She said she actually was a fan of Cardi B's prior to this incident, where she went to one of her concerts and stuff like that. And she said she was just doing her rounds this day when she saw Cardi B. She tried to assure Cardi B that she would never tell anyone about her pregnancy, but Cardi B extended a finger into her face, and her fingernails were really long, and the fingernail ended up touching her face. Then Cardi B began cussing at her, calling her slurs, mocking her, body shaming her, spit on her, scratched her left cheek with her nails. And she said she was very traumatized. She didn't want to sue immediately because she knew that Cardi B was pregnant and she was under emotional distress. Like that's like me going to see Tyler Perry, and I'm like, oh my God, Tyler Perry. And then all of a sudden he slapped the shit out of me. I would be under emotional distress too. Like, damn, I was really a fan of him. And he just really just ran up on me and slapped the fuck out of me for saying his name. Like, dang, Tyler, I didn't know that's what we was doing today. Like, I would be hurt as well, right? So she said she was under emotional distress. And so that's the reason why she didn't feel like she could just sue immediately. She says she now suffers from anxiety, depression, insomnia, and PTSD as a result of this incident, baby. And that she actually is now going to therapy for psychological services, baby girl. Okay. She said that not only that she has a scar from this incident on her left cheek, and that she had sought treatment or advice from plastic surgeons and other people to see how she can get this scar off her cheek. Now, that's obviously extremely dramatic, right? Just crazy. So there was a lot that went on. Let me let y'all hear what she said. Then I'm going to tell y'all. Now, that was what she said under examination by her own attorney. There was a cross examination, and I'm going to tell you guys about that. But let me let y'all hear this footage right quick.
When you were at the building and Cardi B exited the elevator on February 24th, 2018, what were the words that she used that were so hurtful?
She used a lot of words, and again, excuse my language, but she was like, bitch, that's why I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna get you fired. That's why you do security. Ah, that's why you do security. Ah, she was sticking her tongue out. She was flailing her arms up and down. She was jumping up and down. Body shaming me. I mean, racial slurs, just a lot.
And did she spit on you?
She did.
Did her spit actually land on your body?
It did.
Why did you exit the elevator to speak with her after she said what she said?
I wanted to clarify the misunderstanding.
When you were at the building...
Okay, so that was just a little bit of the footage of this woman, Ellis, claiming that Cardi B spit on her. Look at Cardi B looking like a fucking owl, bro. She looked like a fucking owl. Literally, like, whoo, whoo. Like she about to spin her head around and try to find a baby bird to eat, bro. Are you kidding me? Why do you look like that? What the heck? But anyway, y'all heard what she basically said. Did y'all see Cardi B's white lawyers turn cherry red? Look at how red this woman's face got when that woman was describing what Cardi B said to her in this incident. I mean, and look at the way Cardi B is sitting there looking. I don't know what this look is. It seemed like she's still mad, like she want to do one of them Superman flying things that boy did at that judge out here in Las Vegas. How he just jumped over the bench at that lady. It seemed like Cardi B want to go do the jump over the bench right now. It look at her face. She's still angry. Girl, and with her nose is half the nose that I know she had before. Like, what goes on? Half the nose, double the lips. Baby, she looked like she about to go pick up a little baby rat with her claws. Okay, what? You look like an owl, girl. And you look mad, okay? Big mad, little mad, huh? Okay. But with that being said, there was a cross-examination on this woman, Ellis, okay? And they challenged her consistency. They basically said that she did use a phone to record Cardi B. Now, this woman is denying that. But Ellis said there was a scratch on the cheek, but in the incident report, she said that she was scratched on her nose, okay? And also, that is in emails as well. So now she's in court, she's saying that she was scratched on her cheek. In emails and different stuff, different correspondences, and also in the report that was given to officers, she claimed she was scratched on the nose. So then Cardi B's lawyers talked about her not using a Band-Aid, taking a nap after the incident, and not taking photos after the incident. So there's no photos. There's no photographic evidence of this situation. They also brought up car accidents and how she was already going to treatment. She was already doing psychological treatments because of the car accidents. So she had already been doing psychiatric services before this happened with Cardi B. Although I'm sure she talked to her psychiatrist about this Cardi B incident, she did try to, I'm sorry, hold on one second. Pause. No. Get down. Get down. Get down, boy. Okay. I'm sorry. I had to smack my own bed, child, because this boy. Nani hangs some of her wigs on the wall, and Paul tries to jump from them and hang off of them and stuff like that. So anyway, he's across the room trying to hang on to her wigs, child, trying to surf wave the wigs on the wall. Okay. All right. So anyway, so they brought up that, so while I'm sure that she does talk to her psychiatrist about the situation, she did kind of give an impression that she had began psychiatric services or psychological services because of the situation with Cardi B. And then also there's the claims that she has PTSD and anxiety, all of those things that she tried to equate to this situation when those are things that she was already being medicated for from her claims of, or from whatever claims she had in those car accidents. Okay, she was asked about the medical report or showing any scratches or blows to her head and face, um, because this medical report only came later. There was no initial medical report. So she could have had somebody beat her up or had a different fight with somebody and then got a medical report. And so they're saying that this medical report is basically late, honey, okay? Um, they also says that she ended up apologizing to her employer after she got fired and then got a better paying job. So she didn't lose any money. She knew what that she basically put herself in a position to get fired because obviously you can't be just fighting these type of high profile clients, right? And then she ended up getting a better paying job afterward. So she's suing for money loss, but she didn't really lose any money. There was no large time in between jobs, and also she ended up getting a better paying job. They talked about they tried to impeach her using emails and her prior disposition testimony regarding the events, basically claiming that she's a liar. So they tried to basically they tried to impeach her. The jurors were asked about the presence of cameras, and she said there were none in the elevator at the time of the incident. So there's not even, so she's claiming that there was footage that Cardi B was trying to work with people to get deleted, but then she says there's no footage of it, that there was no camera in the elevator at the time of the incident. So there's a lot of elements that are missing on her behalf based on today's trial. It feels like Cardi B is going to walk away from this with a win. So maybe I was wrong for saying maybe Cardi B shouldn't have fought this. Maybe she should have just, gave the woman 50,000 and got her up out of her face. Maybe I was wrong for saying that, but I mean, it just would, I feel like it would have kept Cardi's peace. But Cardi, like, F that peace. I woke up and chose violence, honey, baby. Okay. Not today, not today. So Cardi B is planning on taking a stand, y'all, very soon. She is going to take the stand and give her own testimony and of what happened. Right now, this is looking like a money run. I hate Cardi B's new nose. I hate it. I don't like it at all. It's so ugly and pinched up between her and Glorilla. Ew. I hate it. Okay? Just don't like it at all. So yeah, if you guys don't know, 3 weeks ago she had a pretrial hearings where she kind of like was scoring some pretrial wins. That came out in the news 3 weeks ago as she's headed to this trial. So now we've began. The trial has started. This is just the first day that I'm doing the update for it, but I thought it was important to point out today because of the inconsistencies that were brought to light with the case. And then obviously now we have some footage, but the inconsistencies are that's crazy work to just be up there really sitting up there suing Cardi B and got your lawyers looking a little bit crazy, baby, because I mean just a little bit, because at the end of the day they still are in a high profile case getting their face out there as lawyers, but the inconsistencies is just diabolical work. Okay, y'all. All right, hold on. Now we about to switch. I want to know, who do y'all think is going to win this case between Cardi B and this woman? If you, excuse me, if you ask me right now, at this very moment, excuse me, if you ask me right now at this very, very moment, okay, it looks like Cardi B is going to take the win. All right. Okay.
You want to smell?
So Now I want to talk to y'all about Lil Nas X, y'all. What a mess of a young man. Let me take a little sip of water, you guys. Whew. And shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for joining me for this late night video. I know this is not the normal time that my audience is up, but I enjoy doing videos at this hour. This is my Yawn Before Dawn hour. And we're going to be merging over to a different channel with this content. Okay, because this is my personal life vlog channel. But I do have other channels, and we're going to be merging over to another channel very soon with this content. I'm going to change I'm probably just going to leave it with how it is over there. Um, but we're going to start with these uploads, and we're going to start doing our thing over there. Y'all, um, I will share that link on my community tab as soon as I'm ready. So just be prepared for that. Little Nas X is a mess of a young man. Started out really strong. I don't know why all of a sudden I got something in my throat, honey. Okay. Oh, that's what I was saying. We're gonna be doing Yawn Before Dawn over on the other channel. I'm gonna be waking it up like that over there. We're gonna be doing 3 formats. This is one of them. So we're going to be doing faceless commentary. We're going to do face commentary. And then we're going to be doing Yawn Before Dawn in different sectors over there, the comment section. And it don't only have to be my comment section. I'm going to show y'all how that's done. And if anybody copies me, y'all know they copying me because y'all know they got that from me. Okay. But I have a couple of different segments that I want to do over there. I plan on having a lot of fun with it. I just want to have fun on the internet. That's all I want to do. I don't take anything too serious. Coming off this internet, and anybody that does is mentally ill. And it's just as simple as that. All right. With that being said, and I'm talking about in regards to me, not nobody else. That's just me. Okay? Because some people feel like it's dead ass serious, and that's just ain't me. All right. Back to what I was saying. Look at Lil Nas X face right here. Now, let me tell y'all something. One time, I was watching Vice, right? And it was about PCP. And the man's face was stuck in a smile. He had hit something, and it froze the muscles in his face. And he had to get shots in his cheeks and in his jaw in order for his and in his forehead in order for his face to relax. He literally, his face was stuck in a smile because he hit something out of a bad bag of whatever it was. It was a bad bag of it, and the muscles froze on his face. Okay. Now, I feel like when this video first came out of Lil Nas X, I feel like that's what I was looking at. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, not for nothing, bro. I know what I'm looking at, and I know for a fact, like, you hit some shit, bro. You hit some shit, and it was a bad batch, and it froze your muscle up on one side of your face. Like, everybody was like, oh, he had a stroke. That boy didn't have no stroke. That boy hit something, and it froze his muscles up in his face. And now he probably had to get a shot in his face. Now, here's the thing. Y'all know people that get on PCP, they start ripping their clothes off. And he was clearly recently seen walking through the public in his drawers. Go look it up. I'm not making this up. Y'all seem to forget I am a certified drug and alcohol counselor, even though I probably can't practice no more. And there ain't no chance of me probably practicing no more, even though they do hire felons and stuff like that in practices at recovery homes and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it. Who knows? But one thing's for certain and two things for sure. This young man was seen walking bucket naked with with nothing but his skivvies on and some damn cowboy boots, like he was going to see Cowboy Carter off up in Atlanta. Okay, he was giving us gay Atlanta Cowboy Carter on the way to go find him a man at the concert. That's what he was giving. Okay. It was given crackhead worse than Bobby and Whitney at this young age. What's wrong with this young generation over here getting high on these damn drugs and stuff? What? The younger kid, I'm telling y'all, these 20-something-year-olds are getting blasted out here. Don't you know you can die from that? I just had one of my, who I call her my prison daughter. She just, and I at first I didn't want to believe it. I'm like, she probably, no, this baby, 23 years old, just died from doing fentanyl out here in Las Vegas. We just got out, okay? And she just died from doing fentanyl, coming out. Her boyfriend online telling the story of what happened 5 and 6 different times, and 5 and 6 different people comment section, and posted it over and over and over again on his own Facebook. I mean, it's just ridiculous. These kids out here doing these damn drugs like this. It don't make no damn sense. That is the most dangerous. You can't do drugs. You can't do it nowadays. People lace stuff. All you have to do with fentanyl is just touch it. You don't even have to smoke it or how to sniff it. Okay? And you toe up from the flow up. Now, y'all look at PCP. Look up the facts of it. People that are on PCP, their homeostasis, which is your inner temperature, your inner body temperature, their homeostasis becomes dysregulated, and they start pulling off their clothes. Even if it was the wintertime, he'd have been out there in his goddamn drawers walking around just like that. There was a man on the show in PCP. He got stabbed and slashed. All his intestines was coming out, and he was still smoking it. Instead of going to the hospital, a stranger had to call the ambulance because his guts was falling out, and he was still standing there bleeding to death, smoking PCP. Okay, they lose themselves. They can't remember stuff. They're literally zombies. They're not there. Okay, and they're not themselves. Very much out of character. Honey, they call it rare form, baby. And that's what you saw from Nas X. He was in rare form when we saw him in his white drawers, is headed to Cowboy Carter in Atlanta to find him a man. Okay, and I say Atlanta because y'all know he a little ooh, if you know what I'm saying. Not a little, big ooh. Anyway, so he lost the right control of the right side of his face. Now here's what he said.
This is me doing a full smile right now, by the way. It's like what the fuck? Bro, I can't even laugh right, bro. What the fuck? Oh my god. So oh my god, bro. So yeah.
Okay, so that is warning number one from his body, that it was rejecting whatever drugs that he's putting into himself. Whatever it is, baby, you need to stop doing it, my love. So that's what his body was trying to warn him to. But as y'all can see, he's laughing because he know that the only thing that went on with him is that he got high. He know he ain't having no heart attack, no stroke, no embolism, no nothing like that. He hit some shit, got high, and his face froze. The muscles in his face froze. So to him, it's funny. That shit's not even funny, bro. So I don't want to necessarily, I don't know if I can show that video of him and his skivvies on YouTube without them like demonetizing my video. So I'm not going to do it. What I will say is, you guys can feel free to head to anybody's social media or look up Lil Nas X on any platform, and you will see the man walking in his drawers. I don't think I need to show y'all that here. I feel like y'all know what that looks like. But one thing that I learned from one person that I really learned from is the plainest Jane. The way that YouTube snatched her channel down right as she reached 100,000 subscribers, and never let her back up, and then blackballed her new channel when she tried to make a new channel. They blacklisted it and pretty much stopped suggesting it, and all that because she decided to play audio of Nelly and a blurry video of Nelly receiving fellatio from a young woman. I don't know why she chose to do that. It's not that serious. Like, it's just not. The viewers are here for your commentary. The video is available on all kind of platforms. Why would you feel like you need to bring that to your channel for, for your commentary? You don't have to do that with everything. Sometimes it's okay to just get up there and do your commentary if you know that it's getting a little bit too racy or too risky. You don't put on no audio and no man getting no damn fellatio on no YouTube, woman. So I've learned a very big lesson from that. And so I refuse to show that video here on my channel. Maybe other people have taken the chance, and YouTube will eventually catch up with them. And it just ain't gonna be me. Okay. With that being said, y'all, after Lil Nas X was seen walking in his skivvies and threatening to that somebody gonna have to pay for videotaping him, honey. Because let me tell y'all something. In the Airbnb where he's staying at, y'all, I guarantee, I'm telling y'all, them white people do not want to see him over there, walking around high, getting high, probably singing loud, listening to rock music and country music, acting a fool, and just doing the most. Like, I guarantee you they don't. So so, I'm not surprised that the neighbors were filming him. Now, obviously, somebody called the police because here you are not doing well. Let me call the police to wrangle you in because you're out here out of control in the streets. Lord knows what might happen to you or what you might do to somebody else. Now, Lil Nas X ass then went crazy. Hold on. Rihanna, you can't keep hitting that wall, baby. Put your elbows down. Oh, sleeps with they. Why do all my kids sleep with their arms up like that? Like with their arms behind their head and their elbows out, or like they need to throw an arm up and over their face or something. Put your hands down. All right. So, where was I? So I want to talk about his. Okay. All right. So. Okay, so when the police confronted Little Nas X, right? At the time, obviously, he was in rare form. He was high. He didn't know what was going on. You would think that they would not charge him because obviously he was having an episode, but it just don't work like that with the law. You don't get to get high and use that as an excuse to assault people or to hurt people, right? So the police confronted Little Nas X. He ran from him a little bit. He started tussling with him, started fighting with them. When they tried to get him in handcuffs, he obviously fought a little bit harder, and he ended up walking away with 4 felony charges, one of which, I'm sorry, 3 felony charges, excuse me, one of which is battery with injury. Okay, that's a big deal. Listen, battery with injury on a police officer, which means that he bit him, scratched him, choked him, and left a bruise or a scar, something, kicked him with a shoe and cut him. He did something where there's proof in a picture. That is a big, huge deal, okay? Especially in Los Angeles, okay? So battery with injury on a police officer and a felony account of resisting, felony count. So I'm sorry. Okay, so let me get this right. I just want to make sure I get this right. He has 3 counts of felony with 3 felony counts of battery with injury on a police officer. So it's 4 felonies. Okay, there's 3 counts of battery with injury on a police officer. So he must have hurt 3 different officers. Okay, and then there is 1 felony count of resisting an executive officer. Okay. So that probably means that they end up calling their supervisor, and the supervisor tried to speak to him and calm him down, and that didn't work out so well for him. Okay. Now he pled not guilty to the charges. So again, let me repeat that because I know that was a little bit boggly. Okay. 3 felony counts of battery with injury on a police officer and 1 felony count of resisting an executive officer. Okay, 4 total, facing a total of 18 years in prison right now, just off of one night. How quickly life can change. I mean, just how quickly. And you know what's crazy is I really feel like Little Nas X is doing all this because he is sad about his fall from grace. He's sad about the fact that he wanted to be this huge, big old artist, and he's just not. He's this. This is a young man that's graced the BET Awards, all type of MTV hip hop awards, country music awards, and unfortunately he didn't make it to the height that he wanted to make it to. Like, he's no Beyonce, he's no Drake. He actually said that he wanted to do something with Nicki Minaj. If he was doing his shit like he was supposed to, I think that Nicki Minaj would have done something with him, because he's a singer, not a rapper, and also because he's big shit. Like, she, even if he was a rapper, she did something with Baby before, you know. But he's not moving right in the industry, and so Nicki Minaj has chosen to not give him that opportunity. And as sad as that is, we are where we are. But I was just saying to somebody the other day that his fall from grace has been very, very sad to watch, and he's just going further and further down the hill. I don't know why these people don't realize drugs do not help you. Not even, they don't even help you to people be like, oh, I use drugs to numb myself, but they don't make you numb, do they? Because when you're finished being high, you've probably ruined your life even more, and you're still going to have to feel those same exact feelings that you had that made you want to do that stupidity in the first place. That's what I never understood. So I just, I'm praying for Little Nas X, because he's a very sad case. His father recently spoke out. We're going to talk about that in a second. I might go to that article. I forgot to get footage for that. So, but anyway, all right, this is him in court.
So,
Hold on now. Look, you can see that. Before I play this footage, I'm gonna play the whole 2 minutes. So I'm gonna take me a little throat rest and drink me a little bit of water, try to get my throat a little bit right, because my throat is a little bit itchy. As I told you guys, I haven't been feeling well. So you can see the look in his face and you can tell he's sober right now. He's not the same person that he was when he caught these charges. Unfortunately, you don't get high and hurt people. That's still against the law. We're not going to let your highness make you think that it's okay for this behavior to continue. And I understand that. However, just as a person, you would want people to get help. But you can see it in his face that he is sober now, and you can see it in his face that he knows that he effed up. Look at this.
So, Hill, case number 25 BWCF 01389. So, appearing with the defendant is Christine O'Connor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And Ms. Rudy for the people. I witnessed cause to both sides. I believe I observed, as did thousands of others, what led up to his arrest. I did not observe the arrest. Apparently there was nothing filed on the events that of the defendant's actions prior to the police arrival. I just want both sides to know that. So, do you waive further written statement or consider a plea not guilty?
I do, Your Honor.
So I'll set this case as a 0 of 10 on September 15, 2025, Department 112 before Judge Samuels. I'll stick a 0 of 10. Mr. Hill, you have a right to a speedy preliminary hearing within 10 court days of today, 60 calendar days. You understand that you have that right, so your case could be set for preliminary hearing setting on September 15th, with the understanding that any preliminary hearing occurred within 10 court days of that day? Yes. And how day was handled by Judge Brandolino, Department F, Cousin Frank, briefly report will be ordered 4 seconds.
All right. Thank you so much, TMZ, for that footage, even though y'all played me the other day, had me very upset, honey. Okay. But that's okay. Sometimes it be time and sometimes it don't be time. It's quite all right. Hold on, y'all. Pause is back trying to get the wigs, y'all. Hey, hey, get your butt down. Get out. Okay. All right. So you could see it in his face that he knew. He just knew that he messed up. He just knew that what he did wasn't okay. He looked directly into this camera. His eyes was looking around, and then at one point they looked directly at me. Okay, he looked so embarrassed. He just looked so embarrassed, and you can tell that he, in his face, he was like, "Wow, I have really, really messed up. I have really, really messed up. What the hell? There's a camera on me, and it ain't the BET Awards, child. I am just gobsmacked, okay? He looks, it's sad to say, but he looks pathetic. He looks pathetic. He's being humbled right now and reduced down. His eyes look crazy as hell. um you could see that he's been on something, I don't even know that he's all the way down off the shit the way his eyes was looking in this damn video. Okay, something ain't right. But he is facing 5 to 15 years, total of a cap of 5 years for the battery, the three batteries, so that's 15, and then three for the resisting, so a total of 18. He's due back in court, you guys, on September 15th, for his hearing. For the preliminary hearing in this case, he was released from prison.
Hey, Lil Nas, how are you doing? How are you holding up?
And so he was released from jail, and I tell you, he was just looking crazy. I mean, I have a different view of him being released on my other phone. I thought it was going to be in this video, but it wasn't. I'll put that up. I'll put it up in my community wall and in my Discord. I still haven't shared the link to my Discord yet, but I'm gonna be throwing some crazy stuff up in my Discord. All things that you can't see on this here platform. Okay. But he is due back in court September 15th. Crazy work, Lil Nas X. What were you thinking? All right. Let's get over. Hold on. I want to get right here, and I want to talk about uh Lil Nas X father speaks out. Okay. And I'm glad to know that he has some type of support from somewhere, because no, um no one speaking out is disturbing, right? Um, we want to see something. So as you guys can see, he just talked on March 13th about getting his father's acceptance. So this is new for him. Oh, again, he did plead not guilty. I don't know if I said that in that video, but yes. Let's just read this right quick. So following his arrest in LA, August 21st, his dad, Robert Stafford, spoke to reporters to provide an update. He said Lil Nas X is remorseful for what happened, but that he's doing great mentally. He denied that Lil Nas X was on illicit drugs, which we know is a lie. Okay, it's very clear. He needs to go get him some help. Okay. He said his son is doing great. He's in good spirits despite the situation. That he's going to get the help that he needs. Denies drug use. He says absolutely not. His son was not on drug use. As you guys know, he was taken to the hospital for an overdose by the police department. So that's crazy for them to be saying that he was not on drugs. You know what they do is, if it's like a crystal meth or something like that, they'll give you this stuff. It kind of looks like charcoal, and it just really just absorbs all of the drugs in your body real fast, and you become sober really quickly. Um, and some drugs, they give you a Narcan and stuff like that. So if he had to go to the hospital, I mean, that's a really, really big deal. But he's asking us to give his son the same grace and mercy that God gives everyone. Okay. And it for me, I want to, I do, I want to um, give Little Nas X. That's his mama and that's his daddy, y'all. Okay, that's his mama and that's his daddy. Okay, now listen, baby, listen, baby. Okay, because y'all know I have the spirit of roasting. Y'all know I have the spirit of a roast, a rump roast on me. Okay, I be wanting to roast fools. But not today, not tonight. I'm gonna let you live, girl. I'm gonna let you live your life, and I ain't gonna get on you. I just ain't gonna get on you. But just know, I see you, see me, seeing you, see me. You heard. Anyway, but yeah, his father, his father's been supportive, and I want to be, I want to be one of those people that what is going on with this? Why is it blowing up and going down? Child, I want to be one of those people that is just happy because he has his dad's support, but that's not how this works. Part of support is not just saving face for somebody. Part of support is also holding that person accountable and getting them the help that they need. So when you say he's going to get the help that he needs, if you want to deny that he's on illicit drugs when you know clearly that that boy is on drugs, then it's very clear to everyone, anyone, that goes without saying, then you need to get him that type of help. You know what I'm saying? And of course, y'all want to try to save face for the public because y'all know people are easily manipulated. Some people could tell you, the sky is green, and a person will say, oh, well, it do look kind of teal at night once the sun is going down a little bit, and it look a little bit green in this area. If you really look at it hard, no. You cannot trick people's minds like that who actually know what the fuck is going on out here. And at the end of the day, this boy needs some help. So I want to be happy for dad's support, but also I see something in him that needs to be corrected. Ciao. I think Lil Nas X probably might do some time over this, y'all. If this is his first offense, though, maybe not. Maybe he will get probation. It might be 5 years, which is a long ass time. Um, but he might get some probation. I don't know him to be in a whole bunch of legal trouble and stuff like that. He clearly has some familial support, which they look at that a lot. They look at whether or not you have support, because people that don't have support are more likely to come out and just do anything because they don't have anybody to answer to or anyone that's looking at them and holding them accountable or to be disappointed at. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nobody for him to care about being disappointed in his behavior. So they look at that and they count on that. A lot of the time, I watched a lot of girls stay in prison till their expiration date because they didn't have any family. They didn't have anybody to support them. And they're like, well, if you ain't got no family support, you might as well stay here. We might as well, not only are we going to milk this situation and get all the money we can off of you, but there's no reason for us to let you out so you can wreak havoc. And you know what I mean? And just not care. So, yeah, again, we praying for you, Lil Nas X, because Lil Nas X is young, and for real, that boy needs some help, y'all. He needs some help. All right, all right, all right, all right. Thank y'all for tuning in to the video. I know it is on some late night creep stuff. Now, this is kind of the perfect night for me to do a yawn before dawn. Um, type of situation. But I'm not ready to do that yet on my other channel. So I'm just going to go ahead and watch someone else's uh, content while I create more content for y'all. All right. I will see you guys in the AM or later on in the AM. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all think Cardi B look like an owl, but she gonna win her case? And do you think that Little Nas X is gonna walk away with probation, or he gonna do some time, child? Let me know in the comments section, y'all. Let's wake it up. Let's wake it up on this channel. This channel has been hibernating. Let's get it going. Okay. Let's